Hack the planet! Hack the planet!
Shut up and get in the car!
Hack the planet! Hack the planet!
Hello.
Hello. It's not the usual late shift intro thing. No
Yes.
standing tall, but I love it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our Friday for the video store. And yes, it is not late shift today, but we're going to get into that first. Buy our shit. We always got new shit coming, including Nazara will probably make a shirt for this too, more than likely. So go buy that. Probably sales going on for like $13.99. But yes, let's get into what's going on with late shift. So me and Kelly talked about it last month, and we decided we're going to move late shift to every other week. So it's still going to be Friday, still going to be at 8:30 Eastern, but it's going to be moved to every other week. We're going to try to get more people on that want to come on. We're going to start reaching out to more people, which brings us to get somebody. Yes, it is called Mike's House Party, which I will get to in just a second.
Yeah.
So, our first topic for next week is gonna be. I gotta find this fucking thing. There we go. Okay.
Basically, yeah, we've just loved having the participation that everyone's been brought in on. Like, you guys have absolutely made the show. We love doing it. We're just gonna move it to fortnightly so we can bring a bit more content. Like Mike's House Party is what we're doing tonight. So get ready for next week. We're coming back with a bang. Who is the funniest cartoon character? This can be movies, this can be TV, very broad topic, but who makes you giggle? Who makes you do the yucks, basically?
Yeah, the guffaws.
The guffaws.
So yes, you have a week. You have until next Friday to think about it, and we will be back with that. And we'll jump on for that. And then the other Friday that we don't do Mike's House Party, Kelly's going to be doing her own show. So announce that at a later date, maybe on the Friday that shows up like we're doing this. You never know. But yeah, for Mike's House Party, it is going to be very random. She came up with this actual title as well. It is going to be, so yeah, blame her if you don't like the title.
I love the title.
Yeah, the title was awesome. Nazara made our graphics, of course, like he does.
The graphics banging.
Yeah, he killed it.
Love it.
I'm going to get his lazy ass to make me an intro as well. So expect that in 2 weeks, hopefully. But yes, Mike's House Party is going to be very random. It's going to be just the stuff that I love to talk about. So mainly movies, probably some TV shows in there. And then also we'll be probably bringing some random games like the Leonard Maltin game every so often. We'll throw it up there. It is just a once a month show. So it's going to still be 20 to 30 minutes. We're going to keep it 20 to 30 minutes. Just easy, either movie topics. I'll ask the chat as well if you guys want me to bring up anything.
Chat? Who forgot? I love seeing on the well, it's my Saturday morning on our Friday night. Who forgot? Like, let us know who's here.
We got 5 viewers right now.
Hi, hello, hey.
But yeah,
join the party.
One thing is that Kelly started watching more movies again. It's taken a while. It's taken a while, but she's finally doing it.
Oh, I just
It's Harvey.
It's Harvey. Yeah, it's something I've also been wondering for like a lot of the community. Like, we all play a bit of trivia, we contribute to shows, and I guess just the love of movies is sort of what brought us here in general. But does anyone ever like just find it really difficult at certain periods to concentrate on movies? Like, I absolutely lost my ability to sit down and turn a movie on and feel connected to the story, or to be able to just block everything else out that's going on in life, whether it be like work or school or just things that are going on, and to be able to focus on a movie. Like, I've definitely lost it for reading, which is horrific. I hate to be like that person where like I've lost my attention span, but then that started happening for movies. And it's sometimes not the time, because I would put on a TV show and watch, say, oh, have I paused? No, good. I put on a TV show and I would watch 3 or 4 episodes, and that's the length of a movie. Like, let's be real.
That's true, yeah. It really is.
But it's just that concentration factor, just that ability to be able to immerse myself in it. So, I was really happy. I was saying to Mike, like, I watched 2 movies in one day when I reckon I hadn't watched anything like of my choice, like not outside of for matches or whatever. Like, anything like just having the urge and the desire to sit down and watch a movie, and I came back with a bang. I was so happy. On my watch list for the longest period of time was just filling in some of my Hitchcock gaps. So I watched Dial M for Murder. And it's so hard because I really just want to talk about it. But Mike brought up a good point the other day. Like, it's one of the ones you've got to really phrase the question, because as it is with a lot of, I guess, mystery thrillers, and especially Hitchcock films, like, you've got twists, you've got turns, you've got plot points. But I just missed being able to, it's almost like that stage play-esque. I really am fond of those types of movies where you've got like 5 key characters and you're unraveling the plot. It's in that one room for the majority of it. And I just love anyone that really gives a good speech about, this is a monologue, if you will.
Yeah.
About, this is my sinister plan. This is how it's going down. Like, so, yeah, and I love that. And any time to see Grace Kelly on film, she's just absolutely beautiful. So I love that. Oh, absolutely, Harvey. That is the boat I've been in for the longest time now. Like, it is hard to detach ourselves from what's happening from work and school. So even if I was watching movies, I'd be like thinking about assignments or things like that. So I think that's a really good plan to make sure you're giving yourself that time period for fun to enjoy it. So I think that's great. But yeah, so I watched Dial M for Murder, and then All That Heaven Allows as well. So that's a bit of a slower classic drama. But that was another point I asked Mike. I'm like, do you ever just watch a movie because an actor's in it? If you know nothing about it, but I would scroll through and I'm like, oh, Rock Hudson, like, let's do it. Do you ever have that, Mike? Are you ever like,
yeah. Especially when it comes to more of the classic side of it, movies I didn't grow up with. So I'll grab like a Humphrey Bogart. I'll see that he's in a movie and I'll go watch it. Anthony Perkins, same thing. Vincent Price is a big one. Like, especially he has a lot of non-horror content. He's known for his horror movies now. But yeah,
I just added The Pit and the Pendulum to like my little list.
He has like some westerns that I forgot who threw it out to me. It could have been Zach, but somebody threw out, hey, you might like The Baron of Arizona. I think that's what it was called, Baron of Arizona, and it has Vincent Price in it. And I went, yeah, I'll check it out. And like, those are the ones that I don't need to know anything about. I know that Vincent Price is in it. I'll check it out. I may like it. I may not. Donald Pleasance is another one.
Yeah.
For people that just tuned in, because we got a couple more people, Diaz, Late Shift is going to be moved to every other week. So starting next week, we're coming back with who's the funniest cartoon character. Could be movies, TV, whatever. Who's the funniest cartoon character. And then on the other weeks that we're not doing Late Shift, it'll be the Mike's House Party, which is just random nonsense by me, movie-wise, TV-wise, whatever the fuck I want to talk about. And then the other week will be a Kelly show that she'll come up with.
Red Dog. Okay. Alad or my mum? I sent mum the link quickly, so I'm hoping she jumped on. Here we go. Mum, have you watched Red Dog? Because I think that's set in my state, in WA, in the up north. But it is a bit sad, and I am very sensitive to animals. So sometimes I do not seek out the animal movies. So, but I am very familiar with Red Dog, and that is not a title most international viewers would know. So Harvey, I'm very impressed with that. Mum or Alad, if you have seen it, please comment. Comment for me. I love this comment from Melissa.
Yeah, the mood one, I think
and time. Absolutely.
Yeah, not to call out Cody right now, but Cody's going through the similar thing, is that he just he's not in the mood to watch movies, so he's going more towards TV shows lately. And a lot of people do go through that. I have friends that do the same thing. If they're not in the mood to watch movies, they'll binge TV shows for like a couple months straight and then go back to movies.
I've had that this year as well. Like, what's filled the movie gap for me, apart from TV shows, is video games. I've played more video games this year than I've played in previous years, and I'm talking like I'm sticking 100 hours into like Xenoblade Chronicles or shit like that. Like, I'm talking a lot of movies I could have watched in the time that I've done this. Yes, thanks, Al. It's not Al's type of movie either.
And yes, same time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Same as this show, same as Kelly show. Will be all 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll keep it at the same time.
Yeah. Now, this is another thing that I've tried to focus on in the last few years as well. I love this comment as well, Brian. You guys, I love that even though we're not having Late Shift, you guys are still giving us your opinions, because I love seeing it. Like I love having that dialogue with everyone. I've tried so hard in the last few years, especially since moving back to Australia, where I've had access to streaming services, to try and force myself to watch new content, to watch new movies, to watch new TV shows, and not just go back to the old faithfuls. But like, I had the biggest craving to watch Willy Wonka recently. Like, I don't know why. I'm trying to be like, no, Kelly, watch the new stuff if you're going to watch things. But I think we do. We go back to the old faithfuls because it's like, it's our comfort food. It's our comfort movie food sort of thing. Brian, is there one that you in particular tend to go back to that you grew up loving? And Mike, same question.
Oh yeah, like rewatching movies, it helps. Oh yeah, go through the.
Mum, what's it about? I know it was in the Pilbara. I know it was in our town. Our town is like a small country town. What's a mining town? But I think this is like this movie is like the one claim to fame we have. So I feel really bad for not having watched it. And the fact that Harvey's watched it and I've not watched it, that's the kind of chaos to expect from Mike's house party.
Exactly.
And Harvey's more Australian than the Australian on call. But yeah, Mike, is there a sort of one you grew up watching, and then like I guess is it the Spielbergs behind you?
So, this is the thing with me. The people that know me know I'm insane. I watch more movies than probably majority of people in this community. I'm up to like 1,200, I think, at this point this year alone. So I easily can go and rewatch my favorites like The Burbs, like Jurassic Park, like Hook, like Back to the Future, and I will still get to like 7, 8 movies that I either haven't seen or haven't logged on Letterboxd a week, and still be able to do all. And it's crazy, but I have not burnt out on movies, especially this year. This would have been the year that I probably would have burnt out on movies, but I just haven't. And yeah, there are a couple people for sure that are probably reaching the burnout stage, especially for people involved with trivia, I would suspect. Oh, I've been wanting to fucking watch it. Yeah, this is the next one.
I live for Hocus Pocus. If you've listened, I'm going to shamelessly plug. We need like a shamelessly plug alert because I'm going to start doing it. Shamelessly plug. If you have listened to my podcast doing Disney on 2 separate countdowns, I brought up that I love Hocus Pocus. I am a child of the 90s. This was a VHS favorite. I'm buffering. Goddamn, I know I'm buffering. It is happening when I'm getting heated. I've noticed my computer's like, Kelly, calm the fuck down. Like, take a second. No, I love Hocus Pocus. I am fucking shit scared to watch this movie. I'm seeing somewhat good reviews, but I just don't know how many there's been successful stories of revisiting properties years later, revisiting 90s or 2000 properties, getting really 20 to 30 years later sequels. Has anyone got a good example of one? Because I don't. So I'm hoping, because it's the original cast and I love those ladies, it's going to be good. But if anyone else has watched Hocus Pocus, please let me know what you thought.
Yeah, they actually did the novel where it actually follows all the original characters. In this one, they only have the 3 ladies back and Doug Jones as
Billy.
Billy, yeah. The headless Billy guy. Those are only returning, so I'm very curious which way they're going about that.
Yeah, I don't mind that they didn't revisit the family so much, because with sequels, sometimes I feel like that was their story and it's okay to end that chapter there. So I know it's sad not to see like Thora Birch again and whatnot, but I'm happy to have that stay there. And also because like.
That's a perfect example right there. And also both Brian and his
fucking getting shown up here. Okay, have not seen it, so that's why that's doing it for me. Yeah, Willy Wonka is just so comforting, and Addams Family Values. Debbie, pastels, really. I love Morticia. She's got so much. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Yeah, I do love that there's like a lot of love for it out there. But Ghostbusters and Top Gun, possible only exceptions to the rule, because for those 2 examples we can list, I could list about 20 other ones that have just not taken off. And how come it's Ghostbusters Afterlife but not Answer the Call, Nazario? What's the difference?
See, this is the thing. Nazario will tell you, if it wasn't a Ghostbusters movie, he doesn't hate the movie. It was the fact that it was a Ghostbusters movie that didn't have to do really with the original Ghostbusters in any way.
Yeah.
Scream 5.
Was it good?
Oh, Scream?
Yeah, Scream 5.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
was good.
I definitely enjoyed it. Yeah.
But that's franchises. Top Gun Maverick, I think, is the really good pull. That is the sequel not expecting.
And there he is.
Franchises can live a little bit differently because, like, we've rebooted Halloween and things like that. Yeah. And yes, we've got Jake, we've got Nazario, very good. Cobra Kai's a really good pull as well
Yeah.
because we did, even though the Karate Kid
They're
is
actually
a
doing a new
franchise,
movie based off that
Yeah.
timeline now, too. Like, they
That's
are bringing
really
it back to doing a new movie because of the success of the TV series.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
Yep, catch up, Jake and Barb. We just had them come on. Mike,
Yes.
give us. Here's what you've missed on
Okay.
Mike's House Party so far. Run it down
Truncated
for us.
timeline. Late Shift is going to be moved to every other week. We're starting next week, but we're going to be doing funniest cartoon character. Could be movies or TV shows. So come on and give your answer to that. When we're not doing Late Shift, we're going to be doing Mike's House Party, which is basically just random shit, either movie-wise, TV show-wise, or just us talking to you guys. That's also could be. It could be games. I'm going to bring back Letter Malton game for it, shit like that. Anything we want to test out, we'll probably use that. And then Kelly's going to be doing her own show, which she will announce at a later date. But yeah, we'll still be doing Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, same time at all. Like nothing changes other than the actual name of the show.
Okay, and then what else? What
And
have they
yes.
missed on today's session? Run it down.
For
Keep
today,
going.
okay, so far what we did is we talked about how Kelly doesn't watch movies anymore, but she started to now. Boom! You wanted me to do it, I did it. And now we've been talking about sequels that actually, sequels that are years later that come back and actually work.
I love what we're talking about. Hocus Pocus being released.
Oh, and that's fair as well, Melissa. Yeah,
That's fair.
I've heard other people that don't really care for the new Scream either, and I wanted them to end with this one. I don't think they need to continue, but they're continuing with a new trilogy. I'll still show up to watch it. I don't know how they're gonna do it though, so it's gonna be very interesting where they go.
I've got a question for Mike and Melissa. So we've had like Scream be rebooted, and we're getting Halloween ends.
Yes, Halloween ends.
Yes. What is a franchise that you would like to see come back and do like a good reboot? Is there anything in a horror franchise that hasn't been touched in a while that like, oh, if someone got their hands on that,
they're
would be
doing it
really
for Hulu,
cool.
Hellraiser. I'm very interested to see what
nice.
they're doing with Hellraiser on Hulu because everything I'm hearing is good things. So that should be very interesting. I think that is definitely ripe for continuing. I think Children of the Corn, they've already tried it a few times and it has failed. They've tried to reboot it a few times and it's just failed. I think that's just to be left to the birds at
Left
this
alone?
point. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think they need to go anymore.
That's what I'm saying. It's the
Yep.
reboot though.
Please
Oh.
oh, that
Where are
reminds
they
me.
going to go though?
They're
Mission to
actually
where?
rebooting American Pie, which I don't think it's gonna work.
That's
because
so
you can't
dated. That
do-
lives in the
yeah,
2000s.
You can't do what you did back then. It's not gonna work. Like I don't know what the hell they're gonna do to reboot that thing, but it's not gonna be American Pie. It could
I
be
think
another
that's
high school
really-
movie, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think that's a really fair statement as well, especially like so Al and I stuck on Moon Knight. Like all the Marvel TV shows coming out, we are stuck on Moon Knight because if it's an hour episode, that's like watching movies one after the other. Like sometimes it's at night. It's like, do you want to watch a movie where it could be for like an hour and a half to maybe 2 hours? That's 2 episodes, or do we do 2 episodes of Moon Knight? It's coming down to really either or. Like what we're getting on television now is like, how did Hellraiser get
Because
away?
Pinhead is now a female. Not a-
Oh,
My favorite statement, and I brought this up before, but my favorite statement from Nazario about a franchise coming back, which it did with Child's Play, was
yeah.
he goes to her chat and he puts the trailer and he goes, Chucky got woke. Chucky's woke now, people. And from he's serious. Fucking
God.
killed me the entire time. But
Well, there's
Child's
another
Play is
one.
another
Child's
show
Play.
coming back.
Child's Play coming back. Oh, I'm worried about this one as well because now it's been a bit of period of time. But I think if you do a Sky High TV series, I think it could be really cool. Yeah, why?
Yeah, it
Who
makes
knows
no
why?
sense. Yeah, that's basically what it is. Oh yeah, they actually are doing a new
Oh.
Final Destination. They I don't know if the video's out there yet, but they've been talking about two guys who just pitched their shot and actually won because of it. They pitched a Final Destination sequel, or I can't tell which it is, but they have in their audition video that they're doing, I guess the fan from on top breaks down and chops one of their heads off during the video that they did. So they pitched it by killing one of themselves during their pitch for it. A very interesting way, and it actually worked because they got it.
That's creative.
Candyman was not mentioned, yeah.
That is a really good one, because that's one like that's the sort of the epitome of the question I'm asking. That's one we thought was a franchise that really, yeah, the Candyman is one. And if you get the right director on board or the right producers, like the right team behind it, what could make a horror franchise like really come back? Harvey also talked about.
Oh yeah, let me.
So
there he is.
I'm a diehard Mary Poppins original fan. Like that is the sequel I really thought I did not need, but I enjoyed it. I thought it had something. It followed the Force Awakens formula of like, we are going to hit every single beat of the original movie just in a different way to the T. But I still thought it was charming. I don't mind Mary Poppins Returns. No, Harvey brought up Tron Legacy, and I think that's a really cool.
I saw that.
It's not a movie I love, but I appreciate what they're going for, like touching a 80s property like Tron and trying to bring it into the 20th, 21st century, wherever we were at the time.
Okay.
But yeah. Mary Poppins.
Yeah, that.
That's cool.
I think would be like, I really wish they would have hit the nail on the head with the Universal Monsters.
The crossover series?
Yeah, because
the Dark Universe?
That could have been amazing if they did it the right way. And they still are continuing doing the Universal reinterpretations of them. They still have a couple coming out, and I'm very excited to see what they do with that. Disney's doing that one, Werewolf by Night. I think it's called Werewolf by Night. That's coming out that I'm very interested in seeing how that does. Because if that does well, that could definitely put more interest into that. New Muppets, yeah. New Muppets movie. I want the crossover movie. I don't want it just be Muppets. I want another like Muppet Treasure Island. I want them
Muppet Treasure Island, Christmas Carol. When they hit those literature classics, like I've seen the meme for Muppets Pride and Prejudice going around for ages, and I would live for it. But I know that's very niche. Muppets is another one where if you have the right creative team, like you had Jason Segel and Nicholas Stoller or James Bobbin, I forgot who it is, but you need to have those people who are bringing like a fresh take plus the reverence for it. Like, I think that's really hard line to walk, is keeping what people loved in the original but still bringing something fresh. I think that is a really hard Venn diagram to hit.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And yes, Muppets is a property I think people just don't know what to do with it this time, at this point in time.
Like they've been bringing it up for the past couple of years. The soft way to go about it is put them in the Oscars and let's see how people react.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's see.
Muppet stuff. Well, now that Disney owns basically absolutely everything.
That's definitely a way to go about it. Like that's the way to change up Star Wars for people who have been wanting the different version of Star Wars. That's the way to do it, is do a Muppet Star Wars. I'd go and see that.
I guess the inverse of the question of what do you want to see rebooted is what has had its time? What needs a break? What needs to be put on the shelf just for a little bit? Because this comes to me from, we've been chatting a lot recently about The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah.
I live for The Simpsons. The golden years, love it. Listen to podcasts about it. Bonded with Alan about it, like on our first dates and whatnot. We'll have random quotes come out. But even just recently, they have the Halloween specials, like Welcome to the Club, where it's like like I've got Ursula in the Simpsons universe, or they did like the Loki ones and the little shorts. I hate it. Like, that's strong terms. I really don't like it. It's not for me. I don't think it's the way to be going. Oh, wow.
That shit can get very dark.
Do we get like child competition shows anymore? Because that felt so 90s, where you could just throw kids in a random obstacle course and no one thought it was sus. But yeah, Mike, Mike, is there anything you have that like needs to be put on the shelf in your opinion? If it's horror, if it's a franchise, it's
for
the
like
tra-
a TV show or movies.
yeah.
Children of the Corn, 100%, I think should just be left in the dust at this point. I'll say the Paranormal Activity movies probably could do with just going, hey, because I think changing it up for the last one, I enjoyed the very last one they did, but I think it's time for them to just cut it. Rebooted Keenan.
We're seeing a lot of like nostalgia for the old Nick shows, which I really like seeing. I have when I was in the Hammock District, actually, Jake. So,
but yeah, the big one would probably be Paranormal Activity or Children of the Corn for horror-wise. And the one I'm interested in is the new Indiana Jones with James Mangold doing it. That is an interesting way to go about it. And from everything that I'm hearing about it, I'm hearing more positives than negatives, which is good. They have the trailer, the teaser trailer that got leaked that I haven't watched it, but it's from a perspective of a phone looking at the theater. So it's coming soon. So I'll see what the trailer looks like. Spielberg is still involved in it, which I am glad about. He just wasn't going to direct it, which I am also happy that he decided to go a different route. Theatrical, yes. Theatrical, I think, especially with the TV show, how well it's been doing, that definitely needs to hit back on the screen, for sure. Yeah, Harrison Ford is coming back to going into the MCU is going to be very interesting if that actually happens.
Bar needs his own game show network. I swear to God, it would be great.
Oh God! Don't even go with him as well. Shit.
A shy surprise, absolutely. But what did we talk? Indiana Jones. What was the other one you mentioned? That.
Oh, that wasn't gonna. Like Chucky. That Nazar brought it up. I think that is a perfect one to go back. Mighty Ducks just got killed for the second season with the whole Emilio Estevez thing going on. So I think Mighty Ducks is probably done at this point.
Oh, I love the point that Brian just made up. Because that was going to be my question when you wanted Universal Movie Monsters. Do we need another Dracula film? This came up on a podcast that we both really like. Like, is Dracula... what are some of the properties that are just done dusted? Like, in the same way
Dracula
Brian doesn't want...
in the time now. That's what I think. I think they need to step away from the 1800s. They need, like, not Blade 3 Dracula. Not that. They need to put him in the time now and do a new interpretation of it taking place now rather than back then. I think that is a good way to reboot that. Because, the 1800s Dracula, I 100% agree, should be left to that at this point. Oh, yes. This.
Mike, you bring this
I
up
am
to
100%
me like once
ready
a month,
for
I
that.
feel.
I can't wait. When I saw those pictures of that, I went, yes, let's go. I am ready for that.
I don't know who's funding that.
That would be insane.
It's not enough therapy for after that. Absolutely. But yeah, as what Brian sort of said about Cinderella, like, I'm done with Snow White for a little bit. I don't know where else you can line that story from after both getting Mirror Mirror and Snow White and the Huntsman. I'm like, I'm really ready for this story point. And so when we've seen like the backlash.
Technically, that did start taking place back then too. God damn it! Yeah, they moved it forward, but it still kind of took place back then. Don't give me that shit, Nazario. God damn it!
So, Mike, one question for you.
Yes.
How was your first house party?
Oh, it was fun. Yeah, I think this is gonna work out great. Thank you, everybody, for showing up for this and for contributing in the chat. I think this will be a fun time, and we will be back next week again.
Yes, put the banner up, please.
Yes,
everyone,
bring the banner.
Get your answers ready. Big broad topic: movies, TV. Who's the funniest cartoon character? Give me something to laugh about on a Saturday morning. I'm going to be needing it, especially next week, please. Buy our shit.
Yes, buy our shit, of course, as always. I will be taking us out in just a second.
Thank you to everyone. Thanks for coming to the party.
Yes. We will see you next week.
Party on, Mike!
Yes, we can finally use it.
Yes! It was full
Nazario, I want that for my outro. Find the goddamn party on thing. That's perfect for that. Thank you, everybody. We will see See you next week, same time, 8:30 p.m.